lens came in. New lens. Sorry, buddy. I got a new lens. Got my new lens today. 7artisans 55mm f1.4. We're gonna do an unboxing. Okay, so we got our new 7artisans lens in, and I'm going to unbox this sucker. So we're gonna start by get 5% per gear shopping points. Okay, all right.
Let's get this guy out of here. There's some stuff in here that they pack with it. What is all this?
Made in China. Cleaning kit. What does that come with? Well, here, let's take all this stuff out of here first. I guess this is a bag? Wow, that's kind of cool. It's comes with a lens bag. Kind of interesting. Cleaning kit with gloves. Let's see what's in this cleaning kit. Just oh, okay, so there's a little cleaning thingamajigger doohickey, and you got your gloves, and you've got a cleaning wipey. That's pretty cool. Getting all kinds of other products along with your artisan's lens. And here is our box. And there we go. All right, so it comes with another little baggie for the lens. 7artisans, pretty cool. Here's your, what is this? Comes with some instructions and looks like oh, is this Chinese? Some instructions, probably warranty information, stuff like that. Yeah, this is manual lens. I don't know if I'm gonna be sending it back out. Wow. Okay, here's the lens. And let's take this bad boy out and check it out. Look at that. Wow. It's pretty solid for a tiny little lens. Wow. Oh gosh. Okay, I'm already throwing things. Pretty little element, front element you got there. So this is a fully manual lens. There's your focus. I'm sorry, this is your focus. Wow, it's like opposite. The focus ring is in the back, and the aperture ring is a smooth aperture ring. Look at that, it's a smooth one. Interesting. All the way to 1.4 smooth aperture ring. So this thing is going to be really, I think, really good for video. Yeah, so I haven't tried this thing out yet. This is my first foray with 7artisans. So yeah, let's check out the back of it. Nice. It's all pretty robust, pretty solid. Has a really great, hefty weight to it. Pretty nice. Okay, so there's your 7artisans 55mm 1.4. I'm gonna take this guy out, I'm gonna try it out, and then I'm going to be reporting back to you guys about the quality of the pictures and all that stuff like that and how I felt using it. This is a fully manual lens. This does not have autofocus whatsoever, so it's gonna be definitely more challenging to set up shots. It's a lot more work, but this is really about the art. This is really about the capturing the moment, right? This is what we're in this for to begin with, is capturing that moment. So this really allows you to be even more creative. The more manual you are, the more creative it can be. You know that you're going to have to do all the adjustments in order to get what you want out of this thing, as opposed to just relying on that speedy autofocus from your Fuji film X-T3 or XH1 or whatever you're using. So awesome. Check this out. So I'm going to get back to you guys about this lens, and let's go check this guy out. Let's go use it.
Hey everybody. So I'm out with this 55mm f1.4 by 7artisans. I'm just gonna take some shots around town. Don't have any subjects or anything like that, so I'm just gonna kind of mess around and see what I can come up with. Just do a little test. Some depth of field. This thing has a really shallow depth of field. So just gonna mess around a little bit, and I'll check in with you. Now I'm over here at the First Street Bridge in Austin, checking it out. This thing's pretty fun actually. More challenging to use, but pretty cool. Pretty fun.
So my first thoughts going out on the street and working with this lens is this thing is challenging to run and gun with if you're not used to using a fully manual lens. This thing is completely manual. There's no autofocus. If you're not used to it, like I'm pretty much not used to it, kind of reminds me of the old days with my Pentax K1000 or my Contax RTS1 or something like that. And when it's really open, and when you open this thing up to 1.4, it's extremely sensitive focusing. So if you don't know that you have that really great focus, if you're not really used to it, you're bound to miss some shots, which I did miss a myriad of shots. I was able to fix a few of them with editing that were pretty soft, but this thing was pretty soft all the way around because you really have to focus on where the sweet spots are. You have to get to know this lens. It has an extremely shallow depth of field, and when trying to get that shallow depth of field, it's like I said, you have to know this lens. It has a really vintage look. I mean, it reminds you of that film camera. Just putting this thing on the X-T3 with all of its vintage dials and manual dials, now you have a manual lens with a manual focus and manual aperture ring. I mean, this thing is just totally manual and just reminds me of the old film days. So that's one really great thing about it. So I think there's a level of certainty that we all come to expect being into photography these days and being into cameras, and that is that pretty much a lot of the stuff is done for us, and there's some aspects of going fully manual that we appreciate, especially with the X-T3 or any other Fujifilm model. We appreciate those tactile dials and the tactile ISO and shutter speed, and we like the hands-on experience. Kind of reminds us of the old days, but there is that certainty knowing that that autofocus is going to be speedy, fast. It's going to track to somebody's eye, or it's going to track the face, and you always know that you're in focus. Working with a manual lens is definitely a challenge. This thing was definitely a challenge for me. I think I had to do a lot of fixing in post. I would like to spend a lot more time with this lens figuring it out and working with it, because literally I'm starting from stage one again. I'm starting from, back in the 80s when I picked up my first Pentax K1000, and I had to do everything on my own. And when I messed up, that was it. I had to fix it on the fly, or I had to set things up different. It definitely changes things when you are looking at your composition. You're no longer kind of relying on that autofocus. You don't have to rely on that. So that's one thing that's kind of cool about this thing. Definitely, I like the way that it renders pictures, not because of the sharpness, because there's a learning curve there for me. there's definitely a margin for error when it comes to using this lens for me. So I definitely want to get out and use this lens a lot more. I like the manual, fully manual lens. I like the way that it looks. I'm not looking for perfection with a lens like this. I'm looking for character. I'm looking for the experience. It definitely renders some really cool photos. The video was definitely shaky. I just threw it in there anyway, just so you can see kind of the way that it looks. But this is not stabilized. This is not stabilized. So without a tripod or a gimbal, you're definitely going to have a problem doing video with this thing. I would definitely have either one of those two things or choose another lens and choose another body. So my final thoughts, really cool lens to go out and just get back to the basics. Really fun to kind of spend a little bit more time trying to figure out how you're going to compose the shot and how you want light to come in. I'm definitely going to review this lens again when I've had a lot more time to play with it, because it is fun. It is fun to get back to basics. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me, and click and subscribe and hit that notification bell and like this and do all that stuff. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Peace.